Paw Patrol themed play park. And I thought they opened at 10. So we came here early to, be early and have it all to ourselves.
Yeah.
Ta-da! It opens at 12.
Oh no.
So now I'm sitting here with my dad and the girls.
Hi.
Eating a delicious Cinnabon.
Oh.
Because we passed by and it was like, and right now it's time for like a little snack. So I was like, oh. And my dad went like, do you want one? I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
If we can't play, we must sugar.
Yes. Hey, Lila.
Lila, what are your colored lights? Lila. Where in your house are you?
I'm in the lounge room, and that's my Christmas tree.
I love your lights. They're so happy.
Yeah, they make me happy. And there's like Christmas balls up there and everything. And it's a little bit of like, I sacrificed my Christmas tree for it because I love it.
I'm sure it was fine.
Gabby.
That's awesome. Well, hello everyone. I let you all in a little bit early because there was a lot of people in the waiting room. I was like, oh, people are excited for today.
It was the email as well. I just went, oh yeah, look, I'll just press it now and it'll come on when it comes on.
I do that and then I don't forget, right? Like, because sometimes I forget. Like, hey, did you guys check out my new digs? Look at this.
I see that. That's awesome.
So I'm actually traveled. I'm in North Montana. And I was like, I have a very important call at 10 o'clock today. So I have to make sure we can like make the internet work. So this is our first trip in our family RV, like away from our house, because we bought it so people can come and see us. And RVs are pretty nice, pretty snazzy deal.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey Debbie, welcome. So welcome everyone. Garrett, good to see your name. Terry, you made it. It's so early. I don't know if your mic is all set up, Terry.
My mic is, I just haven't started there.
There we go. Hello, my friend. It's early for you.
Well, muscle cramps wake me up anyway, so it's just one of those things.
Well, I'm glad you made it. This is good stuff. And all right, we got so many awesome people. Carol, Mike, are you at work?
Yep.
Awesome. But you're not in Bianca, are you?
No, I'm in my work truck.
Oh, that's a bummer. So everyone, if you don't know, Mike has a Jeep named Bianca.
Aw, sweet.
Yeah. Leanne, good to see you. And Debbie, Carrie, hello everyone. So glad you're here.
Look, I'm bummed because I got my book first thing this morning, and I have yet to start it. Work got in the way.
Don't you hate that when life gets in the way?
Adulting sucks, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Dana Delaney, I don't know if you guys saw her message, but she said she got in trouble for doing non-work things at work.
Oh,
I think we got her in trouble. So she won't be here. I was like, we're gonna miss you, Dana. She doesn't even come that much. So I was like, oh, sorry, we broke you, Dana.
Yeah. Well, I'm the only one in the office right now. So my advisors are at a conference about 3 hours away. So
that's awesome. I'm glad you made it. Well, I think everyone here is a launch.
You read a lot in 3 hours,
right?
Oh yeah.
Morning, Debbie.
Oh yeah.
Louise said she's going to be like 5 minutes late or something.
Yeah, so. Louise will be here in a bit. I think people will probably trickle in. I think Kim wasn't sure if she was going to make it either. So did anyone not get their copies for the Forgotten Gods? The early launch team copies. I think everyone here's on the launch team. All right. Got it. I know Andy was up at midnight. So hardcore.
I was freaking out because usually at 12:01, like 1 second, and boom, they all come in. And today was like 1 minute, and I was like, where is it? 2 minutes, and I was like, no! Did I buy it too late? No. It came in at 2:05.
I think I'll make sure, knowing that you're waiting, I'll make sure it delivers at midnight on the dot. But sometimes I schedule it for 12:01, and then, or just like whatever, but it still sometimes will take a couple minutes. There are emails that I schedule at a certain time, but they don't land for 10 or 15 minutes after. And I
Yeah,
think
dude,
it
now
has to,
I
like,
know.
send in waves, but that's so funny. Hey, Louise, you're here. Anyway, okay, well, I'm glad that it arrived. There, yeah, Debbie, I saw your message. Thank you. There's, if you click the banner at the bottom of the trivia quizzes, it might take you to the wrong quiz. It's just one of those things. But if you just click the link on today's, it'll go to the right
I
one.
already did it. I just saw that and was like, I'm not supposed to do that.
You know, it's something I'm constantly trying, like I'm constantly aware of all those details, and I logged in this morning and checked links, but I just missed it. So it's just one of those things that when you're scheduling all these emails and there's links everywhere and you're trying to make all this stuff, it just gets missed.
Well, that's like the one that to be on the list to get the questions when it says click here. Where is that supposed to take you?
It's supposed to go to a page that just says thank you, and I even double checked that before I sent the email out, and it was working, and now it's not working, and I was like,
Just say it went to
stupid.
404 not found, and it took.
But
me
that's
to
okay,
the
because
website.
as long as you've clicked it, my email service provider puts you on that list. So as long as it's clicked, it'll still work. And I checked that stupid link, and it was working. So I don't know what gremlins
Man,
are.
my computer must be a mess.
What?
I said, my computer must be a mess.
No, someone else emailed. Leslie Harris emailed me and said the same thing, and I was like, it was working. I just checked it this morning. Like I woke up early to check the email. Anyway.
Mine too, Debbie. Yeah.
We are not perfect here. Okay, so I don't know if all of you have noticed, but Derek Siddoway is with us quietly, lurking in the corner.
Morning, everybody.
Hi.
Before we dive into chatting with him about WINDSWORN, we have lots to talk about. So first of all, launch teamers, today you get your early copies. If anything has gone awry, go ahead and email me. We took extra pains to make sure everything should deliver today. Or if you haven't purchased yet, then you won't be getting anything. If you haven't purchased, just purchase, and then I'll make sure that you get your copy. Just forward me the confirmation so I see it. I think all of you have purchased, though. I'm pretty sure all of you have purchased. So that is super exciting, but that also means we're kicking off like the launch festivities for the Forgotten Gods, which is the quizzes. So instead of trivia, we're doing these amazing quizzes that Mike and Samantha and I worked really, really hard to put together. There's a lot of work behind those quizzes. Finding the right pictures and all this kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys like it. There's been a lot of chatter about the quizzes in the Witchery, which has been so fun for us to see. It's fun to see what everyone got, like as their results, like who's Derek and who's Scarlet. So that's really fun. So thanks to everyone that is sharing. Everyone who, just like trivia, if you do a quiz, you'll be entered so that you can win a sticker and all the swag. There is some really awesome swag since we're doing a full novel launch. Launch teamers especially, there's a whole bunch of extra prizes just for launch team. We have the dragon journal that we'll be giving away, the Team Merrick sign that Garrett made for us and is so beautiful.
Again, that sign is mine.
Oh, sorry.
Don't go walking it around.
Andy will hold
the quiz.
Your sign.
The quiz already solved it. I got
Andy,
married, so I gotta get married.
I can't send that to you because Guatemala has not once delivered anything I've sent to you.
All right, you know what? I will pay for the UPS because UPS is a more direct
Okay,
thing.
I'll UPS it to you and you will not pay for it. All right, so Andy is hopefully winning her own sign, and then of course we'll be doing some signed paperbacks, stickers, all that really good stuff. What I can say about the Forgotten Gods is there are some amazing one-liners in this book. So I will probably have more sticker offerings than usual simply because we couldn't narrow it down. So we had 8 that Sam and I were trying to choose between. So we'll probably have to do more because there's some really good one-lines in here. Okay, so the festivities are kicked off. Oh, here's Jean Marie. So the festivities are all kicked off for the Forgotten Gods. So that all of you have an opportunity to talk about the Forgotten Gods before it launches officially to everyone in the world. We are doing a launch team only book club on Thursday. of next week. So next Friday is the official launch day. So on Thursday, we're doing a launch team only book club. I'm doing 2. So we'll do one at 10 in the morning and one at 7 so that Lila can actually get some sleep because we're not sure what time zone she's living in.
I'm getting so
The
confused.
poor girl never sleeps, I swear.
I was like, I'm detrimental to Lila's health at this point. She just won't stop. So Lila, you can sleep on next Thursday.
I think I'm a bit delirious today. It's probably good that I'm in like, you know.
Especially with a book launch. We've got so much stuff going on.
So that's on the 30th, Katie?
Yes, Thursday
Okay.
the 30th at either 10 or 7, or you can come to both if you're not Lila. Lila's only allowed. I'm not gonna let you in, Lila, if you try to come to the 10 p.m. one.
Now that would be rude.
That if you guys
Yay, Debbie!
rude.
Oh, she's been waiting for me to say it.
Oh my gosh, I was. Okay. So if you can finish The Forgotten Gods before next Thursday, then we'll have those books for you. There will be, I think most of you will probably be done tonight.
There's
Yeah.
no if.
I
It's
know.
a matter
Yeah.
of when.
Says the woman that stayed up till midnight. There will also be another book club open up to everyone the week after that. So I'm trying to provide those opportunities. Also, the secret novella that comes after The Forgotten Gods is live. It is not super searchable unless you know the title. So like I haven't linked it anywhere, but if you finish The Forgotten Gods and you're on the launch team, it is available to purchase the secret novella right away if you want it, which of course I highly recommend. And yes, Garrett, it's available in ebook and audiobook. And it came back from the salon. I just have to make sure I upload it. I better make sure I uploaded the final files. Anyway, there's a lot of books right now because we're technically launching 2 books next week, not just one. Anyway, so for those of you that finished the Forgotten Gods, then the secret novella is available for you to finish at the end. That will be publicly announced and official and linked everywhere at like probably sometime in August. It's just I'm trying to preserve the excitement for the first month of the launch. So if you do finish the Forgotten Gods and you go to the next one, just try not to do any spoilers about the secret novella. We're just going to be calling it that until people until it's just kind of common knowledge for the people out there. So that's a lot. I think that's all too. Try to remember. Launch is always
It's called
really.
Goat.
What'd you say, Layla?
Oh, Louise just said it's called Goat.
That's right. If you guys are not in the witchery, oh my gosh, Louise. If you guys are not on the Facebook Messenger thread called The Witchery, you have to get in there. We can get you in there. It's just so funny. Louise keeps doing spoilers for my future books, and apparently I'm writing a book titled Goat for Bianca's Goat. And there are spoilers for it that Louise has been sharing. But really, you guys should get on the Facebook Witchery thread because it's hysterical, especially when Lila's basically drunk messaging because she's so tired.
I woke up to 70 messages this morning.
I know. I'll wake
Yeah.
up and there will be, like, I don't even try to keep up. I just look at where it's at and I'll say something. Sometimes I'll scroll back, but man, it's a bog in there because there's so many people. It's so fun. Louise, did you have a question?
Did you manage to get that secret prize of the branded dinghy?
Get the secret prize off of what?
The branded dinghy that you were going to give away.
Oh my gosh. there was a suggestion that for this launch we actually give away a dinghy, like a boat, because in the Forgotten Gods there are a lot of boats
It was
in Malaysia.
the Lamplighter's daughter.
And in
I
the
was
Lamplighter's daughter,
referencing.
yeah. Mike, did you find a dinghy for us to give away as swag?
We've got heaps. We've got heaps of dinghies.
Lila's on it.
I'll go out into the paddock. How many do you want?
Just one that really looks like Ava. We will not be giving away any dinghies. I think people are so tired of hearing that word that have read the book. Anyway,
And Derek, yes, we are always this crazy.
It's worse actually.
That's great.
This is
Don't
my-
yeah,
we're
don't
trying to
tone it
behave
down
for
for
you.
me.
Yeah, Derek's like, give it to me. Does anyone have any questions or anything they want to bring up before we start into stuff?
Can I have you for about like 5 seconds after we get done?
Yep, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
ahead.
mentioned the secret novellas up. The audiobook isn't up yet, just the ebook so far, just to let you know.
Let's see. Thank you. I will check that out right now.
So, yeah, I'll leave it till after, I think, but I thought I'd mention it now in case anyone's searching it because you've mentioned that it's available.
Oh, you know what? It was scheduled for July 1st. So I will just put
I
it.
figured it was gonna wait till it actually launched.
I thought initially that would be it.
Okay, so it's live. Thank you guys. You're awesome. Carrie, shoot.
I just
took
wanted
a
to
quiz.
say I was really excited.
Derek.
I'm excited to meet Derek because I helped with the Wolf Saga. So I
Yeah,
didn't know
Derek,
you guys-
this is Carrie that was helping us proofread.
Oh,
All
thank
of
you
the
so
comments.
much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They were a huge help.
They're awesome.
I've gotten better since then.
Carrie is amazing. She's been awesome. And we are doing the official onboarding probably next week, but Louise is stepping in as title manager at KCW. So I haven't officially started bringing her in. So from when I tell you guys on, you can send all of my mistakes to Louise. And she will fix them in my ebooks and paperback. I'm like,
How
oh,
perfect she got leader. Like Louise got leader. That's so perfect.
I know it was perfect. These personality quizzes are working out shockingly well. Like I was like, oh, that is perfect. Like these.
Yeah, I'm Lila's grandpa.
Yes.
That's right, Lila.
Yay!
Bianca.
Well, just be careful, guys, because I am now the highest witch. So just be careful with where you're going. Just telling you. Just telling you.
I don't know. I think that's
I'm your
appropriate.
ambassador.
I think that
The
Terry,
highest witch from where?
Central Network.
might wanna
Central Network.
Just saying, you could choose a network.
Terry,
No,
did you have
I'll
something
take the
you wanted to
Central.
say? Go ahead, Terry.
I just gonna say, I'm Derek.
Oh,
So you're Lila's father.
so is
I'm
Jade.
almost old enough to be probably.
Oh, that is so fun. I love seeing these go out. Debbie, I think you're a great Martin. I was like, that's so right. She's got so much compassion, just like Martin. Also, Catherine and Diane, welcome. So glad you're here. Did you guys get your copies okay today?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Oh no, how are you, Catherine? Are things crazy?
I had 3 people ask me for a scheduling tool in the last 24 hours. And my scheduling tool was so hosed. So I'm literally trying to do something where it has author interviews available on one set of scheduling times and my other stuff available on another, and it's not working. And I've tried it 3 times and it's driving me nuts. So I haven't seen anything. I haven't done anything other than try to resolve this problem. So I'm here for a break, a diversion from reality.
Yay, that's just what we're here for. You came to the right place.
That's exactly it.
Go ahead, Andy. What's your question? Did we lose you? You look frozen. I think we lost Andy. All right, if Andy comes back, we'll do that. Okay. Awesome stuff, you guys. I'm super excited. Anything fun that anyone wants to share or talk about in your life that is non-Alcaran related?
I have to say I'm impressed with Derek. And Derek, I have to tell you, your name is just exactly like my nephew's name. His name is Derek Allen, also spelled the exact same way.
I'm glad he spelled it
Awesome.
the right way. There's a lot of wrong ways to spell Derek and Alan. So
I know. Well, my little brother, his name is Alan, and he spells it the right way. So that's how my nephew got his. So
that's awesome.
I was very impressed when I saw your whole name. It was like, yes.
it's right. I may have had issue if Katie had spelled Derek a different way. I
Yeah.
think we would have had to. I would have had to talk to her about that probably.
That's exactly right.
Okay, Andy is coming back in. We'll see if she has a question. And then we'll go right into WINDSWORN and we can chat with Derek. Hey, Andy. Sorry. I think you had a question.
Yeah, I have a question. Sorry, there's a truck going back. Just let me roll up the window.
Oh, you're fine.
Was there a Baxter character in the quiz, or what were the options that you could get?
I can't remember. I don't know if there is on that one, but Baxter is definitely in some of the other quizzes. It's definitely in tomorrow's, which is who is your Alcaran love interest?
Better not get Baxter.
So I have engineered
better not
this
get
so that
Baxter.
Andy and Garrett are.
I better get
guaranteed to
Bianca.
Baxter.
I better not get Baxter.
If I'm Merrick, I better get Bianca.
Everybody gets Baxter.
I'm with
No,
you.
no.
Jean Marie. Oh, Jean Marie and Leanne are here together.
I know.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. We tried really hard to mix all of them up throughout all of the quizzes so that everyone gets represented. Just saying. Baxter will be there tomorrow for sure.
Yay.
Yay.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let's talk about WINDSWORN.
Yeah.
How do we talk about it without spoilers, though? That's what I was wondering.
Well, the first question I was going to
Because,
ask.
like, I
who
thought
has
of
read
all
it?
these. Yeah.
Who's read WINDSWORN?
Not
I
all
have.
of it
Not all of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We can avoid spoilers. Is there
Yeah.
anyone who doesn't want spoilers? Okay, Andy. Okay, perfect. So no spoilers. So we'll just have to be careful to avoid spoilers as we talk about it. And if needed, we can at like 10:45 or 10:50, we can just have people who don't want spoilers end a little bit early, and then Derek can talk to those who have like read the whole thing and have questions about anything that would be a spoiler.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, who wants to start? Does anyone have questions for Derek about his books or WINDSWORN or that in general?
I loved the idea, Derek. Where did you come up with your plot and your whole country, the whole concept? Because I really liked it.
Well, thank you. It was a combination of a couple of things. Probably the biggest influence was, if anyone's familiar with the game Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, but its predecessor back in like the early 2000s that was on PC. And it's a strategy game. And in it, they had a Griffin Rider. One of the characters or units that you could create was a Griffin Rider, right? So I had that concept. I really love it. Almost all of my books, including the one I'm writing with Katie, have some type of animal or beast companion element to it in various degrees. So, and Griffin Riders was the first series where I kind of explored that and really got into that trope and kind of kicked things off. And I wanted to do something, dragons are awesome, obviously, love dragons, but I wanted to have basically a different magical creature than dragons. And, griffins aren't done a ton. And when they are done, it's usually not in kind of that same type of setting where there's a griffin relationship or bond. So yeah, that's kind of where that came from Warcraft, and then just playing that out and thinking, how would this work and how do I want this to be set up? And then also a lot of inspiration from some of my favorite fantasy series growing up. So there's definitely a little bit of Harry Potter in there and some of the setting. There's some, if you've ever read the Chronicles of Prydain, that one you'd probably know it by the Black Cauldron, the not so great Disney movie version of the series, but it's actually a whole series. So that played in later in the trilogy, but those are some of my bigger influences.
So it's a trilogy?
Griffin Riders is a trilogy. Chronicles of Prydain, I believe, is 6 books, 5. My wife's going like this. It's 5. So they're 5 books. They're pretty short too. That was the other thing that I wanted to do, was kind of have a faster paced story that was epic in the story, but not epic in the length, I guess you could say.
Well, I have to go look for those other 2.
Yeah, I really loved it as well. And I loved that it was quick in that you had quick resolution about certain things, which I won't mention, and stuff. So I got to, like, you know, go, oh, and feel the excitement or feel the tension. But then it was like excellent because we were straight on to the next thing. That was excellent. I love that.
Yeah.
I've listened to the whole Griffin Riders trilogy and I really liked it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I have to say, Derek brings that quick moving quality also into the shared series that we're doing. We actually are really good,
it's so
like,
exciting
team because of our different strengths. Like, come together. Astrid is a really phenomenal book. I think you guys are gonna really like her.
It was kind of ironic because I thought we had a pretty fast pace, and then when you revised it, we ended up taking out like 20,000 words, but in a good way. It really tightened it up, and yeah,
I destroyed it. He was like, "How much did you delete?" I was like, "I'm so sorry."
It was good. When I first gave it to you, I was like, yeah, this is going to be like, I think we said 80,000 words. And then I was like, Katie, I gave you this 110,000 word beast. And you're like, that's okay. And now it's like 70, 80 again. So it ended up where it needed to be, but there was definitely some axing there.
So Katie, the Derek character in your books, was that named after Siddoway?
Yes.
No. He flatters himself that I just launched a book for him.
I've been trolling the group a little bit since I saw that announcement, but I need to read it. I haven't read it yet.
It's so good. Derek is solely based off my husband. I don't know where I got the name. I don't know how I chose Derek as a name, but he's pretty much Mr. Cross for sure. Did anyone else have a question for Derek about the books, or even just anything in general? Does everyone know what a griffin is? I want to ask.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Just talk away. I'm going to move the computer.
Louise has a question. Go ahead, Louise.
Yes, so you mentioned like Black Cauldron. I don't know if you saw in the chat. I mentioned that I like it because it's like set in Wales, which is where I'm from, and I'm right now. But you mentioned like the Chronicles of Friday, which that film was based off of, which I didn't even know being like an influence. So is WINDSWORN? I've not read WINDSWORN yet. Sorry.
That's okay.
I have it on my Kindle right this minute, ready to read. But is it kind of based off of like any mythologies that you're inspired by, as well as like books that you mentioned? Like, did you use, like with the Chronicles of Friday, they're based like heavily on Welsh mythology, so did you use like other mythologies, or was it just based off of your own imagination and the books that you were inspired by?
Okay. Yeah, there's kind of a few things. I wouldn't say that it's kind of blanket based on one type of mythology. What I've done in a couple of my works, and you'll see this in Astrid's book. I know we're teasing it a lot, so sorry, but it kind of combine a lot of different. So you have kind of the traditional medieval European fantasy, and then I combine it with other elements. So in the case of WINDSWORN, and then I'll do this spoiler free, I think. Just a couple of maybe interesting things about the world building, not necessarily the mythology, but the world building. The idea is that the race who have the griffins, they came to the world from basically a different continent, right? So you have kind of that traditional, again, medieval European culture, and then the place that they arrived, there's a combination of a couple other cultures there, some that haven't been explored yet in the trilogy, but I want to get to. The cool one, or the kind of the mashup there, is the Warag, and they're kind of like a nomadic steppe people that feature more in future books. So again, no spoilers, but they'll feature more heavily in the second and third books in the Griffin Riders trilogy. And then just as far as how I wanted to lay out the map, I don't know how many people realize this or notice it, but it's actually set as a kind of a southern hemisphere world. And what I mean by that is the farther south you go, the colder it gets, and the farther north you go, the warmer it gets. So it's in an environment, it's kind of like the Americas, but kind of flipped upside down, right?
It's Australia.
Yes, basically. Yeah. But with more snow in some places.
Yeah, we've got snow in some places, just not here.
I'm actually
Lila lives
working
on the beach. Lila lives like right on.
Nice. That's awesome. We're actually working for my Gin Tamer series. Have an author that's doing kind of a standalone in that series, and he's Australian, so I'm learning a lot about basically I'm getting all the lingo and things down. But don't test me yet. I'm not ready. But
well, I was laughing because I'm getting influenced by the witchery and by everybody chatting and picking up lots of certain words and stuff like that are said a lot in sayings.
And
from
we
America.
can, also today we can in a little bit, if you guys are interested, since we're not going to do too many spoilers, we can also I can read aloud an excerpt from Astrid's story, like the first like introduction and stuff. It starts out with a bang, that's for sure. Dana, did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, since I fell in love with the griffins in the books, it's like, are there going to be more books with griffins?
The short answer is yes, and I probably get that every time I send out an email. Someone will say, I love the Griffin Riders, or I just discovered them. Is there going to be more books? The answer is yes. It's crazy. It's been almost 5 years since I released WINDSWORN. It came out in July of 2017. And I have all intentions to go back, and I will go back. I'm still trying to figure out the format. I've got the series I'm doing with Katie. Obviously, we want to get through it. Both of us are big believers in not leaving series unfinished, so we've got a schedule to get all of the books out for Wolf Song. I'm also working on another series right now called Mana Beast that I just launched on Kickstarter a couple months ago. But in between there, I'm trying to figure out, if it's short stories or a novella or some standalones, but I don't want to keep putting off Griffin Riders for another 5 years. I just don't have an exact.
My readers love novellas.
I've been, as we've been talking, Katie, I've been thinking a lot about that. So it'll probably be a surprise drop when I do another Griffin Riders book. I think I'll just send out an email one day saying, hey, it's live now, go check it out. I want to build up the suspense when I'm not sure when I'll get to it. So I'll probably do kind of a Brandon Sanderson thingy where it's just not 4. There's not going to be 4 of them. But it's like, hey, here's a novella,
Yeah. I did get the Beast Mage through the Kickstarter, but I haven't read it yet.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I have it too, and I haven't, Katie keeps me busy.
I understand. She writes a lot faster than I do.
Lila, did you have something? Wait, is Lila?
Yeah, can we have the email link or something so we can, if we want to be part of Derek's email?
Yeah, I will grab that and I can drop it right in the chat.
Awesome.
That I had a question and it just totally slipped my mind. I can't remember. Oh, someone else asked. Someone asked Derek where you live.
So I live in Utah, Intermountain West, and I say Miss Katie. I guess she's not Intermountain in the West now, but we're still Western.
We're almost like Canada mountains up here.
Yep. You're like the big Mountain West.
The big mountains, yeah. We're the real mountains.
Yeah, and that played that going back to the question earlier about kind of influences in Griffin Riders, a lot of fantasy books are set in kind of a traditional, maybe again, European inspired setting, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's great. But the geography in many, I would say most of my books, I take a lot of it from at least some areas from the Intermountain West. So the flora and fauna, there's a lot of Western geography and biology in my books. And shout out to Joseph, who just joined. He's one of my co-authors from another series.
Oh, awesome.
So thanks for joining,
I was just
Joseph.
gonna welcome him. Hey, Joseph. Thanks for coming.
Hi.
Happy to be here.
The 3 of us will actually be hanging out at FanX here in Salt Lake City in September. So
double hi.
Yep. You're getting a lot of author all at once, but
I love it. That's awesome. Is anyone interested? If there's no other questions, Terry, did you have a question? Go for it.
Well, I was going to ask if he was also, you said you're from Intermountain, but did you start out in the same general area as Katie, which is southeast Idaho?
nope. I am born and bred Utah.
Terry's in Utah also.
Okay. So, yep, always
Wait,
been
are you in
Utah.
Sandy, Terry? Was it Sandy?
No, I'm in Pleasant Grove.
Pleasant Grove, that's what it was. Sorry, wrong area. He's in Pleasant Grove. Derek's up in Cache Valley. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, closer to Park City, Wasatch Bag.
Oh, that's right. For some reason I have you in Logan in my brain. Anyway. Yeah, so you guys are pretty much neighbors. Terry and I are gonna try and hit up dinner when I'm out at FanX in Salt Lake.
Nice.
On it.
It'll be awesome. Any other questions? Anything you guys want to talk about griffins or how Derek navigates his awesome life? Anything like that?
I have a question about the Kickstarter. Like you've got a series, another book series on there. How do you access that? Like, do you just
so the Kickstarter was running I believe April to May. I'm glad none of you quizzed me on stuff in Griffin Writers because, it's kind of like on to the next thing. But anyway, the Kickstarter ran for, I think 2 to 3 weeks. So if you joined during the Kickstarter, I already delivered the audio in the ebook. Because of paper shortages right now, we're trying to figure out how to get the paperbacks to people. That's been tricky, but basically my launch plan is, so you got it exclusive for joining the Kickstarter first before anyone else. In September, I'll be doing a launch direct on my site. So I have an online author bookstore. Almost Katie's is a little fancier, has a few more bells and whistles, but it's basically the exact same setup, right? So on Shopify. So I'll have the books available then in September. And then my plan is to go to a regular launch on all the retailers probably in October. So if you weren't part of the Kickstarter, it will be available in September, again, through my online bookstore.
And what series is that again?
This is called Mana Beast. So it's a brand new series that I've started on, and it's going to be a bigger one. I'm thinking probably 7-8 books for this one. So I'll be writing it kind of back and forth between Wolfsong. It'll be a Mana Beast book, then we'll do another Wolfsong book until we get through those.
Thank you, Louise. Louise posted the comment in the chat thread too for his website. Sorry, my mother-in-law's calling. It's on Telegram. Awesome. Anyone else? Welcome, Sushmita. You. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I was just up late watching Secrets of Dumbledore, so I just
I'm so jealous.
That's my girl.
Oh, that's awesome, Sushmita. I was up late. Oh, that's funny. We were just talking to Derek about his books, but I was just going to offer to read the first part of the first chapter of our Derek and I co-written novel, Spring for Spears. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what one is it. My brain. It's called Spring for Spears, and it's in the Wolfsong Saga. So the Wolfsong Saga is a 4-book series that we're setting in an actual separate world that we're creating together. So this will be outside of Alcara. Sushmita, I know you were excited for some outside Alcara stuff, I believe, or you really liked Water and Light. So, yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I
definitely.
have some people who love Alcara, but I think they just kind of want to see some different stuff. So we have the Wolfsong Saga. What's the name? Have we landed on the name of the world?
No, we've done a lot of revisions, so we're getting there.
I keep throwing wrenches into things. We
Not you, Katie.
It is. I know. Carol, I'm not in charge here. You know that. My Hollywood producer called with some interest from production companies, and so we were looking at potentially pushing Wolfsong Saga to some people. So we're having to kind of restructure contracts and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so we actually have to, Carrie, we might need you again because we have to.
I'm ready.
rewrite some of the story. Anyway, so we're gonna we have the shared world that we're creating with the plan to just continue co-authoring series and books in this world. So as we continue to launch the books, you guys can let us know what lore do you want more of, what kind of stories do you want from Astrid and her world. With the co-written books that Derek and I will have together, you're gonna see a lot more of people and their relationship basically with their animal, right? So that's a highlight of Derek. We're gonna have some really fun, strong characters and just, the animals that they grow really close with, which is a really, really fun aspect and relationship to explore. Those of you that are Sana and Ludius lovers, you just totally get it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah,
yes, we're looking
absolutely.
at spring 2023 release because we've almost launched this thing like 20 times. It just keeps not launching, but it's been for the best every time. So
it's getting better every time too, I think.
Yeah.
So
and we're trying to have the books all written before we start launching so that it just flows really smoothly and the books are just ready to launch through 2023. So I'll be recording the audiobook in the fall. Derek's already working on the second book and we have outlines for the third and fourth book. We've actually been working on this for years. Like we would wake up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. I would wake up at 4 or 5 and then Derek and I would meet around 5 or 6 in the morning and we would talk for like an hour and kind of work through stuff because both of us have small children and jobs. So it's been an interesting ride so far, but you guys are really gonna love Astrid. So if you're interested, I'd be happy to read part of the first chapter.
Yes.
Lila's like, stop talking, start reading.
I love the way you always say, if you're interested, like we're ever going to say no.
Well, right, Debbie. Right on, girl.
I like to give opportunity for opinion, even if it's the wrong one. Right? Just kidding. Okay, I think, all right, I'll try to, there's a few changes we're making in naming convention, so I'm going to do this on the fly, changing our naming convention. And I don't have accents yet, I'm sorry. So who is it that's been asking? It's Debbie. You want me to do an entire Coffee with Katie call in Regina's accent, right? Okay, not happening yet. She wants me to basically be in character for Regina for an entire Coffee with Katie call. And I don't know if I can do that. I can read words and be Regina. I don't know if I can just think Regina, but okay. Let's do this. Let me pull it up. Okay. I'm so excited for you guys to hear this. I don't know if I'll be able to do the whole chapter, but I'll do at least 10 minutes. I'll do this for 10 minutes and then we'll have people who don't want spoilers for WINDSWORN to hop off so that Derek can answer questions or talk about spoilers for the next ones. And I think Derek might even have a discount code if you guys want to buy the second book or something like that coming up off of his website. So, all right. Chapter 1. A spear whistled past Astrid's ear, glancing so close to the fragile skin that the breeze stirred her hair. Before her opponent, Torva, could recover, Astrid ducked into a roll and sprang back to her feet, just inside Torva's spear defenses. Torva sneered. Her freckles scrunched together. Red hair spiraled around her in frizzy strands half soaked with sweat. Astrid tisked. Torva shouted and attacked again. Quick as a lynx, Astrid clamped a hand around the incoming spear, twisted it out of Torva's grip, and earned a blow to the chin in the process. Torva lumbered to the side in a poor attempt to get her feet under her again, while Astrid staggered back, jerking the spear from Torva's paw-like hands. She shook her head to clear the pain radiating through her jaw. Her fingers tightened around Torva's now claimed spear. Take that, bully, she thought. They circled each other for several moments, chests heaving, eyes locked. Astrid wiped away strands of hair that had fallen out of her braid. She smirked. Sloppy, sloppy, Torva, she sang. You let me get your spear. Astrid twirled the stolen spear around her back, then snapped it back into guard in front of her. I'll step on you, runt, Torva snarled. Then you'll break in half like the little thing you are. You're not even a whole Ulfsarka. You're half-sized. Around the sparring ring, other warriors snickered or rolled their eyes. Torva's rage-scrunched face looked like a troll's. She advanced with a stomp, cracked her thick knuckles, and rolled her shoulders. There had to be troll blood somewhere in her lineage. Astrid had always been small, but not short enough to throw off her comprehension of an opponent's size. Stop dancing around and fight me like a real Ulfsarka, Torva hissed. I am fighting like an Ulfsarka, Astrid snapped. She backed away, spear held low, a wary gaze on Torva's advancing form. You're the one lumbering around like a mountain troll. Torva's face turned red as she bellowed and charged. The speed of Torva's assault startled Astrid. She didn't know Torva could move that fast. Astrid swung the shaft of the spear around at the last moment. Being Torva's spear, the troll-like girl wouldn't want to snap it in half. Torva would be forced to lessen the intensity of the attack at the last moment to protect her own gear. But Astrid miscalculated Torva's desire for blood. She charged with full strength anyway. Astrid managed to lift the spear. It struck Torva on the shoulder, but glanced off. Torva wrapped her arms around Astrid and drove her hard into the ground. All the air fled Astrid's chest when she collided. Sorry. Caught between Astrid and Torva's descending bulk, the spear shaft cracked. A rock jabbed into Astrid's ribs, slicing skin under her shirt. She gasped from pain and lack of air. Torva shoved herself to her feet, looming over Astrid like one of the giant, grizzled bears that followed the streams in the spring. This time, Torva smirked. Not so quick after all, Astrid. Torva had always drawled the vowels in an annoying, brutish way. You think someone as little as you would at least be quick. Then again, you've always been a disappointment. Astrid gasped through frozen lungs, wheezing out an incomprehensible retort. Torva rolled her eyes, then nudged Astrid not so gently in the ribs with her foot. Try again, Omegar. Shock rippled through Astrid. Omegar was the highest insult possible in their Ulfsarka tribe. Rage fueled her recovery. She forced her lungs to take the air back in. I said, Astrid gasped, you fight like a troll. Astrid's foot slammed into Torva's thigh. Torva dropped to one knee, but her sturdy bones only bought Astrid a few seconds. Just enough to snatch the top half of the spear off the ground and spring back to her feet before Torva had her balance again. Astrid fought off a grimace. Her ribs ached. One of them might be broken. As an Ulfsarka, she had accelerated healing. It would still hurt like shine for a few hours anyway. Her breath came in shallow gulps. Torva staggered as she gained her feet and picked up a discarded shield from earlier in the fight. The rounded edges looked more like a buckler, except for points on the bottom and both sides. She advanced slowly, wiping the back of her mouth with wiping her mouth with the back of a meaty hand. Astrid took a step back for each step forward. At least I hear the wolf song, Astrid. Do you? Torva laughed a grating sound, like wood pieces groaning together. Of course you don't. I'm not a puny, pathetic freak like you. The wolves want me, not you. You'll never be an Ulfsarka. A deer doesn't run with the wolves. Astrid's control slipped away. Just like that, quick as the snap of two fingers, and Torva gained control over the fight. Because the one thing Astrid couldn't defend herself on was the truth. The ragged, undeniable truth. She didn't hear the wolf song. Instead of ignoring the taunt the way she usually did, Astrid let her rage come forward. She didn't send it back, didn't deal with it later. She felt it now. It flowed to the front of her mind like a rush of fire. Blood boiling, Astrid charged. Torva absorbed Astrid's ramming shoulder with her shield, the way Astrid knew she would. The pain sent hot spikes all the way down Astrid's spine and through her already sensitive ribs. Astrid pushed through it, because Torva would have expected her to abandon the charge. She didn't. She pressed on. Torva grunted as she stepped back, gained footing again. Astrid shoved, using all her fury to propel her. Torva stumbled once, twice, then dug her toes into the ground and planted herself. Astrid's advance halted. Torva caught Astrid low with the shield and heaved, sending Astrid flying overhead. Astrid landed hard on the cold spring earth. The half spear cluttered to the ground next to her. She panted as she tried to pull her thoughts together. The pain left her too scattered. Her shoulder ached with every breath. Her ribs blossomed with agony at every attempt to breathe. Her body settled into something that tasted like misery. Meanwhile, the chants and jeers of the other Valkyries had settled into a low hum. Torva flashed a gaping, toothy grin and beckoned with a curl of her tongue for more. Astrid tensed in anticipation of leaping back to her feet. Her body refused to respond. Somehow she'd find the fight in her again. A commanding voice rang across the circle. Enough. 2 younger Valkyries grabbed Astrid and heaved her off the ground. Despite the pain rocketing through her ribs, she struggled against them until a woman appeared in front of her. Huntress Vana. Dressed in fighting leathers and with her hands resting on her hips, Huntress Vana left no room for question. The fight was over. She wouldn't scold either of them. Sometimes things got heated in the sparring ring, but her blatant disapproval didn't make Astrid feel any better. Nor did the sidelong glances from the rest of the Valkyries, all aimed at her. Whether this fight began because Astrid defended 2 younger girls or not didn't matter. Torva had played the trump card of Astrid's failure to hear the wolf song, and none of them would forget it. Maybe Torva was right. Maybe she didn't belong here. The hands gripping her arms relaxed. Astrid shook the 2 girls off. Let me go. The girls faded back. Astrid turned around to face Huntress Vana. Heat flooded Astrid's shoulder from the failed charge. Her nostrils flared as she tried to breathe through the spasms of pain that followed. Her right side felt like a single massive bruise from the rock, and her elbow hurt from being thrown. Grasp hands and leave the ill feelings here, Vana commanded, then eyed both of them. Her gaze lingered a breath longer on Astrid. Astrid hesitated, then stuck out her hand first. With a scowl, Torva accepted, and they broke touch the second they could. Astrid shuffled back, gaze dropped. Embarrassment burned hot in her throat. Are we settled? Vana murmured. The creak of her leathers, she folded her arms across her chest, was the only sound in the field. Torva nodded. Yes, Huntress. Yes, Huntress. Astrid said. Go clean yourselves up. Astrid curled her hands into fists as Torva stomped away, her half-grown wolf, Cinder, trotting at her side. The 2 of them together sent a deep stab of jealousy through Astrid. She kept her gaze even, her face flat. Still, she couldn't stop watching. Torva's words echoed through her mind like an empty cavern. You'll never be Ulfsarka. I hear the wolf song. Do you? No, Astrid thought helplessly, and I don't know why. When the field fell empty, and the dying light of day a kiss on the horizon, Vana turned to Astrid. For some reason, the huntress had stayed behind. She hadn't told Astrid to wait either, but the implication was heavy enough to keep Astrid rooted to the spot. I had thought name-calling above you, Vana drawled. Troll? Even if it's true, it's not all that original. Astrid motioned to what had once been a ring of Ulfsarka, now little more than an emptying field. It was in the ring. That doesn't make it advisable. So Torva can call me a runt, an omegar? Vana frowned. I didn't say I approved of that either. But you didn't stay behind to scold Torva. Because she didn't stay behind. You did. Now what does that mean? A building protest died on Astrid's lips. Vana had always been harder on her, called on her more, pushed her harder. Was it her skill in the ring? No other Ulfsarka were more talented than her, even if Astrid had proven herself in the fights as best she could. Short stature and lean frame notwithstanding. Other Valkyrie were mightier than her, yet Vana didn't pull them aside for name-calling. Boom! Okay, we're gonna stop there. Hold on, there's Andy pop back in. That is Astrid! So that's just the opening, that's the opening chapter. More will
Yeah,
be
and now we gotta wait until January of 2023. Thank you so much. Yeah.
No,
Well, hold on.
spring. Spring of 2023.
Yeah, nobody said January.
Yeah. Who said January? Anyway, so there's a little sneak peek for what Derek and I have coming for you. Astrid is so much fun. She is super plucky. As everyone expects for sure. Let's see. Okay, I was just checking the comments. All right. So thank you all for coming. We're going to give everyone that has wolf song questions that would be spoilers for the rest of you a chance to ask their questions. Oh, wait, Louise, do you have a question?
I had a question regarding the spring 2023 release date.
Yeah.
Does that mean Lila has to wait 6 months before she gets any books to read it? Is that unfair?
Oh, Lila's in trouble if she has
I'll get mine earlier.
Yeah, I think Lila should get an awesome release. Because
That's right. So
something happens
Lila's
here.
getting it like like US fall of 2023.
Yeah.
Great point, Louise. Now I have to start saying US springtime 2023. That always, you being on the other side of the world, Lila, really messes up my time zones. All right, so thank you all for coming. If you need help with the Forgotten Gods or anything else, just email me, of course. I am on vacation at my friend's house in North Montana, so I won't be on Facebook.
I know. I love being a pain in the butt.
We're never a pain. We love you so much. So if you have any problems, I'll be close to my email and I'll be able to help over email. So just hit reply to any of my emails and I can help you out there. If you want to stay and here's some like other spoilers or questions with Derek that could be spoilers, please do. We'll be ending the call in 9 minutes. Carol, you and I can stay on. And I think that's it. All right. So if you don't want spoilers, you can go ahead and leave now, but the rest of you can start chatting with Derek about some more spoilers.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Love you all.
Bye.
We'll see you later.
Bye. I will try and read your book as soon as I finish The Forgotten Gods, because right now I have a lot of questions about that one. But the cover is amazing. I saw
Thank
it
you.
and I was like, ooh, this book seems, this one seems like a read. So I will let you know. Katie can tell you I'm a pretty honest person. I will let you know if I like your book as much as I like your cover.
A little bit.
Well, thank you. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Andy. Have a good day.
Bye.
We'll see you later. All right, peoples. What questions do you have?
I have. Will, go ahead, Jean Marie.
So, Selena, I think that's how you say her name. She started to appear sick and started to get sick. Is that going to be explained later? Is that like because she's using like a different magic or the runes, right? Is that what's draining her and causing her to be sick? Will that be explained in future books? Because it's not wrapped up in WINDSWORN.
Right. I'm smiling because, like I said before, I'm trying to make sure I'm getting all my facts straight for this, since it's been a little while since I've listened to Griffin Riders. Yes and no. I would say yes, because there's going to be more about the runes, and there's a lot more about everything that happens kind of in the conclusion, with I'm still kind of in spoiler-free mind, so sorry. There, with the conclusion, the big fight at the end that Eva has down in the bottom of the gear, that's going to play heavily into the events of the second and third books.
Okay. I thought they might. I haven't made it to the second book yet, but because I really wanted to get this WINDSWORN read before today. So
thank you.
But yeah, I'm just curious if it would be explained, because you talk about how she starts to look sick throughout the story, and then she looks really bad at the end. And I just kind of attribute it to the use of the runes.
Right, and that's correct. Yes.
Okay.
And I will say, this isn't a spoiler for books 2 or 3, but one thing I've thought about future books in this world. One I've thought of is kind of a prequel that would involve a lot of the characters that are kind of, the middle-aged adults running things in WINDSWORN, kind of when they're younger.
Right.
So it'd be a journey across the continent, and then there would also be some other stuff from future books that I want to spill. So it'd kind of be 2 stories that would fit in together at once. But
so, with that in mind, Derek, would you go back to the Great Eastern Exploration then and help us to see that?
Yeah.
Soot? We'll get a little bit more of Soot's background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be kind of the A side of this story. Like I said, there'd be an A and a B that would be told congruently in the same book. And that's one I've really thought about doing, really excited to do at some point. Either that or kind of a future book that would take place probably a generation or a few generations after the events of the Griffin Riders trilogy. Again, I'm trying not to spoil books 2 and 3. So.
And as we go on with book 2, not that it's a spoiler, but will we learn more about Evelyn's father?
Mhm.
Because it was, I mean, it basically it said he's still alive.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. He'll and I mentioned in the Facebook discussion on this post that so I have a discount posted there for the rest of the trilogy, and there's
I see
also a couple of short stories included that feature her father that are kind of standalone, but they're still fun and kind of give some more background on that character. So yeah, there's those 2 short stories that I've placed them, in the ebook. They're in a place where they're not going to give spoilers for the trilogy, but kind of provide backstory between books 2 and 3. But yeah, he's we'll see more of him.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
And that's really, sorry, I don't mean to cut anybody off, but the Great Eastern Exploration really plays into the events of the 3rd book, and also kind of is the catalyst for what happens in the 2nd book in some ways.
Oh, excellent. Good deal.
Yeah. I have the books. I just have to read them. I remember because I did the same thing for you that I did with Katie. That's how, because it was funny when Katie said that she was collaborating with you, because I had already downloaded your WINDSWORN, like the Griffin Rider series. I just hadn't gotten around to reading it yet. It's just been sitting in my library. But I did it off Facebook. So that's how I believe I ended up just doing the trilogy, because you offered the one, and then you offered the other ones at a discount, just like Katie did with Miss Mabel. And I was like, well, I'm sure I'm going to like it, so I'll just buy them all at once at one time anyway, so I don't have to go back. So now I just have to finish reading them. So,
yeah, Katie and I, we have a very similar author platform. She obviously writes a lot more and a lot faster than I do, but we kind of have to apply the same strategy.
Well, it worked. Well, at least that's how you got me anyways.
Yeah, well, I loved it. And like I said, I really appreciated the whole not being tortured with her being raked over the coals over the whole, finding the egg with her and stuff, because I was going, oh no, and you didn't go there, and I went, oh, thank you, Derek. You resolved it really fast, and you didn't torture us with it forever. And, and the same with the trial part. Like you made it so it was interesting, and yes, there were consequences, but you did it so quickly, and I went, yes, back to the real story, and I love that.
Well, thank you. And it's kind of a love or hate thing for some people. I'm all right. I guess the thing I should mention is one of the things that Katie really shines with in Astrid's story is working on the romance side of thing, which falls pretty flat in Griffin Rider. So just to prepare you all, if you're looking for a great romantic subplot, you're probably not going to get it. But I'm learning from Katie. So
well, I thought
it was sweet. I thought it was beautiful.
And I thought having Adelar tell his side of the story was brilliant, because a king to explain to, quote, yes, she's a Griffin Rider now, and she's her niece. It's still, for a king to reveal all of that hurt, I thought was brilliant.
Mm-hmm. It gives them a human side that you don't see in a lot of royalty.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons I'm really excited to explore them when they're younger. I have a lot of eclectic inspirations. So when you're looking at the brothers, they were inspired in part by Legends of the Fall a little bit. And so knowing that, you might see it a little more. It was very loosely inspired, but, kind of having these 3 brothers that just exploring their relationship and the way that it kind of changes, and also how their responsibilities play into what they end up becoming, and in addition to their choices.
Well, thank you. It was great. I really enjoyed it. Look forward to getting 2 and 3.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, yeah, Derek, thanks for coming. It was fun to have you. You're the first one that we've shared coffee with Katie with. So.
I'm excited. I hope I didn't ruin it for anybody else.
Oh, heavens, no. I love your background.
Thank
That's
you.
John Wayne.
It is.
His background is John Wayne in the movie Chisholm when he goes back up on the hill and says, oh, yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Hey, Derek, you got my heart in more than WINDSWORN. I mean, John Wayne's my man. It's like, as a matter of fact, I just got John Wayne's birthplace right here. It's like, yep.
Nice.
Awesome. Go Carol. Go Derek. That's awesome.
No, I would love to come back, and I really appreciate all of you reading WINDSWORN. I hope you enjoy the rest of the series, and really, really excited. I know we've been hyping up Wolfsong for a long time, but we, again, like I said, I think we're making it better on every iteration, and the delay will hopefully be worth it. But
it will definitely. We're just figuring it out so that we're trying to establish the world so that we can just keep writing more awesome books. So yeah, it's awesome. Well, Carol and Terry, if you two want to hang out, Lila, go to bed. Everyone, it's so fun to see you. And we will talk to you all soon. Go read The Forgotten Gods.
That's what I'm doing now.
All right, see you guys. Have a good day.
guys.
Good night.
Oh, hang on. Oh, they leave. I knew it was somewhere.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get out of there. Let's see. All right, I had to. Okay. Oh, Terry took out. Oh, hello, Robin. I don't think I know you. Over there. Okay, I should grab an out.
I am just so flippin' excited. Oh my God.
I've been so excited to talk to you.
It was so funny because last night I was reading and I was like, my eyes got tired.
Oh, wait,
Okay,
wait, we got to stop recording.